When Drew Brees was playing as quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, he threw a record-breaking touchdown pass to surpass an NFL record for throwing yards. Little known fact, he threw it to this guy. Now, I didn't know that fact either until I had an opportunity to create a commercial with him for Mercedes Benz, and this is the behind-the-scenes video working with an NFL wide receiver on a commercial. 3, 2, 1. This video was filmed actually a year ago, and the whole process was absolutely crazy from start to finish, in that getting access to him was kind of a immediate thing, and it was like, you gotta go right now. So as we go behind the scenes, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the pre-production, the gear we used, and a little bit of the stories of what it was like working with a wide receiver on this commercial. Let's start off with some of the pre-production and some of the chaos that came with getting this project started. What was unique about this project is that we did not have a massive crew to shoot this commercial. It was in fact just me as the DP and my buddy Austin, who was directing and kind of producing this commercial. So that's why I want to take you behind the scenes and show you what is really capable with minimal gear, minimal budget, and talent and a good idea. So I got the call from my buddy Austin. He said, can you get your butt down here to Texas? We're gonna be shooting a commercial. And I was like, yeah, of course I can do this. This is a dream come true. So we booked a plane ticket and I flew down to Dallas, where we started the project. But a pretty rare thing happened in Dallas is they got freezing ice rain, and I'm talking like catastrophic. People were literally skating on the sidewalk. So unfortunately, our talent was not able to fly to us in Dallas, so we had to pull an audible, pun intended. We had to actually pack up everything that we needed and drive from Dallas to New Orleans to meet our talent. As you can imagine, anyone that's done video production of any sort, there is a ton of planning required, and we were initially planning for Dallas. So while we were driving, we were planning locations and ideas for what we could do in New Orleans. Now, because it was just the two of us, we needed to go lightweight. So we stopped by Aperture Rent on the way down to New Orleans. We picked up a huge Aperture 1200D for our key light. We knew we'd be battling some sun, so we wanted to make sure to have a powerful enough light. We got some Aperture tube lights just like this one, and we rented the Canon R5C for this project, which to me was actually kind of interesting. I had just purchased the Lumix S5 II at the time, but because it was such a new camera, I didn't feel comfortable using my brand new camera on a project of this scale. So we rented a camera I was more or less familiar with and knew could produce something with 422 10-bit codec. Looking back now, a year later, I would have loved to use the Lumix S5 II on this project, as that camera it's incredible. It's what we're filming on now. I love the color science, and in fact, I would have loved color grading on it much more than the R5C. The last thing we had to get access to was the Mercedes Benz itself, and we found a G-Wagon that was gonna be perfect for our shoot and really kind of match the vibe of our player. Now the next morning, Traquan Smith of the New Orleans Saints showed up.
End zone for Smith. Perfect. Brees downfield, and in stride is Smith again for a big shot. Smith, what a day. Brees pass is caught. Traquan Smith.
So we talked Traquan through the whole schedule and our ideas about the whole day. We ended up filming an interview, and we learned a lot about his journey to the NFL. I think that there is so much to be respected for athletes at this level, and the determination, the grit, the strength that it takes to actually get to this level. It was really cool to hear his story. We had 3 or 4 locations that we had to hit in 2 days, and so we had to schedule those all out with him. And in fact, he suggested a couple locations that ended up being really, really good for our shoot. For our first location, we kind of wanted him to be in a bit of a dreamlike or processing state, thinking back to the process that it took for him to get to the NFL. So we used actually this room that we rented as our hotel, but it was perfect for kind of looking like his room and the space of him dreaming. We knew ultimately we really just needed 3 or 4 shots from this space, so it was really quick. Then we moved on to him working out. This was some of the most fun I've ever had as a cinematographer, was actually kind of working out with an NFL player, but I had to do sprints with him. I was kind of doing sit-ups with him, which was painful. It was a lot of fun because he was jesting with me about my lack of fitness, which is completely fair. One shot that really stuck out to me about this shoot was I had Traquan run towards my lens. Now, for the first version of this shot, I actually started way too close because I wildly underestimated how quickly he would reach my camera. But this was the moment that I was like, okay, this guy is an insane professional athlete. It was so cool to be a part of that. For the workout scene, we kept it really simple with a big dome on our massive light so we could key light him. And then we also had the tube lights just kind of set in the background of our scene to add just a touch of backlight and just add a little bit more depth to the scene than we would have got in this naturally kind of dark workout space.
This type of structure comes once in a lifetime. Talk to myself like, homie, you an icon. Stand by my word, back it up like iCloud.
Now, getting some of the key shots with the Mercedes Benz was actually quite difficult. One of the major shots that we wanted to get in this film was Traquan with his Mercedes Benz making it to the dome, signifying that he's actually made it to his goal. There was actually not a Saints game that day, but there was a basketball game, and their stadiums are very close to each other, so we had to work around people coming in and trying to get parking for that game. But fortunately, we were able to get there early enough before the game started. Again, this is such a huge pre-production thing, is looking into what's going on in the area. Are you going to have time and space to make this happen? One of the last scenes we had to film as the sun was going down was him at an older, we'll call it like college football field. Now, I'm Canadian, so I know you guys in the States have these college fields everywhere, but it was so cool to be able to get on the field with Traquan and have him kind of dreaming again and inspiring towards his ultimate goal. These final shots were personally some of my favorite. When you have that blue hour light, everything's hitting right. We've spent enough time with him that he's comfortable, we're comfortable, so it was just a really nice way to top off the 2 days of filming with Traquan. It was busy, it was hectic, but it was a ton of fun working with a professional athlete. We just wrapped a massive project with Traquan Smith. I'm exhausted. We actually just tossed the football around a little bit. Super cool guy. The most chaotic video I think I've ever made. Least planned, fastest paced, highest pressure, I think, on any video. Working with a professional athlete, I think it's obviously a blessing to have the opportunity. I'm super grateful. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the behind the scenes content. Now, of course, it's been a year, so he's no longer with the Saints. He moved to the Broncos, and I think recently is now with the Detroit Lions. So I wish him all the best in his continued career. Now, as we got into post-production, the most important thing for me was finding a music track that I could use and that I would like and that was inspiring to me. For me, I always find these on the MUSICBED. I've been using MUSICBED for well over 10 years since I started my career in cinematography. I love everything about the MUSICBED and what they produce, what they stand for, the quality of their music. To me, they produce some of the best sounding music that you can get on the internet to license. In fact, a ton of the artists that I hear on there are on Spotify, and I then download them and add them because they're actually real artists. If you guys are interested in checking out the MUSICBED, I've got a link for you down below. If you're interested in signing up for an annual subscription, you can get 1 month free using the code TheCarCreative.
It's not about where you've been, but where you come from. It's about the journey you take and the work you put in to get to this moment.
If there's one thing I could encourage you guys and leave you with in this video is to stretch maybe beyond what you think that you're capable of and push yourself to try something new. This was one of those projects where when someone offers it to you, it was like, am I honestly capable of this? I'm one of those people that's like, just say yes, you will rise to the occasion. And honestly, I had a blast doing this and seeing what I was able to produce, not only shooting this project, doing the pre-production with Austin, building the script with Austin, and ultimately in post-production coming up with the final product that we did is something that Austin and I are very proud of. I'm very proud of this piece of work. So if you guys want to learn more about how to create videos or shoot photos, that's what we do here on this channel. So I recommend you subscribe. You might like that video there, but I appreciate your guys' time so much, and hope I will see you in the next one. Peace.